Alright, let's talk fintech. You've probably heard the term thrown around a lot lately. But what does it really mean? And more importantly, does EQ Bank fit the bill? That's the question we're diving into today. Now, fintech, it's a fancy word for technology that's shaking up the financial world. We're talking about those innovative companies using software and algorithms to offer financial services in a more efficient, cheaper, and often more convenient way than traditional banks. Think about it, peer-to-peer lending platforms, mobile payment apps, and even cryptocurrency exchanges. They're all fintech. But here's the thing, the line between fintech and traditional banking is getting blurrier by the day. Many established banks are adopting fintech technologies to stay competitive. So, where does that leave EQ Bank? On the surface, EQ Bank looks like a classic fintech. It's a digital bank, meaning you do everything online. No branches, no tellers, just you and your smartphone. They offer high-interest savings accounts, which is a product many traditional banks struggle to compete with. Plus, their focus on technology and user experience screams fintech. But let's dig a little deeper. EQ Bank is actually owned by Equitable Bank, a much larger, traditional financial institution. This is where things get interesting. Is EQ Bank just a digital front for a traditional bank, or is it something more? To answer that, we need to look at a few key factors. First, let's talk about innovation. Fintechs are known for their disruptive business models and groundbreaking products. While EQ Bank offers some competitive products, it hasn't exactly revolutionized the banking industry. They're more about refining existing services than creating entirely new ones. Next, let's consider regulation. Fintechs often operate in a regulatory gray area. They're nimble and can adapt quickly to changing rules. Traditional banks, on the other hand, are heavily regulated. EQ Bank, as part of Equitable Bank, falls into the latter category. This means they have to adhere to stricter rules and regulations, which can limit their ability to innovate. Finally, let's talk about culture. Fintechs are typically characterized by a startup mentality. They're agile, risk-taking, and customer-centric. Traditional banks, on the other hand, tend to be more bureaucratic and risk-averse. EQ Bank, while digital-first, is still part of a larger financial institution. This could potentially impact their culture and decision-making processes. So, where does that leave us? Is EQ Bank a fintech? Well, it depends on how you define it. If you focus on the digital-first approach and customer-centric products, it certainly checks some boxes. But if you're looking for a disruptive innovator shaking up the industry, EQ Bank might fall short. Ultimately, the fintech label is becoming less relevant as the lines between traditional banking and technology continue to blur. What matters most is whether a financial institution offers products and services that meet the needs of its customers. And in that regard, EQ Bank seems to be doing a pretty good job. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.